Now, have you ever wondered what happens to the items that you recycle in your green bin? Well, this week in our Doors Open series, our reporter Aisling Riordan visits the materials recovery facility operated by Panda here in Dublin.
Piles of paper, plastic, cans and bottles. These are items from your green bins. This material recovery facility in Dublin, operated by Panda, is the biggest in the country. Every day it accepts 300 tonnes of material, which is roughly about 60 bin trucks a day.
The very first thing is when the truck comes in, it's weighed in, so we know how many tonnes we're collecting, and that's a requirement. It comes to the intake shed, and we will check that there's no food waste, that there's no oversized materials like mattresses or duvets or things like that. That does happen. Once we've that done, we can run it through the plant. And it's primarily a mechanical plant, but we also employ 100 people here every day to hand pick and sort the materials so we can get a very high quality material. So everything in this plant is either recycled or reused as a fuel. Nothing goes to landfill. It's 100% closed.
Because of Ireland's size, most of the materials are actually exported.
50% of the bin, that your bin at home, 50% of that is good quality paper. And that generally tends to go to China. They buy that off us, I ship it to China, we sell directly to the paper mill in China. So I'll go to the mill, I will do the deal, and they buy the paper from us, anything up to 50, 60, 70,000 tonnes of paper a year, and they make that directly back into paper. And that comes back to us either as tissue paper or as packaging.
Now I have Aga here with me, and she's the export manager. Aga, you're going to tell me, what is this facility? It looks very interesting.
This is actually the storage shed of the finished products. So after all of the green bins are being tipped and processed, we're ending up with all of that.
And you're from Poland. You're here in Ireland how many years?
I'm 6 years in Ireland, and I work in the waste industry for 6 years as well. So I worked my way up from the beginning.
And do you enjoy it? Do you get a kick out of the fact that when it comes in a bit of a mess and it comes out in bales?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I know that before I started working in the waste industry, I never realized how much work is going into it, how many different aspects of it is, because this MRF, the green bin, you would never think when you're putting stuff to your green bin, you would never think what's happening to it. And at the end of the day, after the processing and baling and all of the export, you're basically sending paper to the mills and you're getting brand new paper. So it's actually very, very interesting industry. In Ireland, it's quite small, so that's why majority of our products are going still abroad. But it's a very, very interesting industry. If anybody gets interested in it, there is a kick out of it, yeah.
And what's the difference between the recycling here in Ireland and Poland?
See, I would say that recycling in Ireland is much better at the moment. See, Poland joined the European Union much later than Ireland, so the EU legislations and directives for the recycling rate came in much later. So Poland at the moment is still in a process of building the MRFs and trying to get people to put the green bins and to recycle. So majority in Poland, I would say 6 years ago when I came to Ireland and started learning about how Ireland works, in Poland it was still, I would say 80% landfill. At that stage there was really no recycling going when it comes to the domestic waste. Commercial, yes, of course, but domestic wouldn't really. So we're still working on it in Poland slowly.
Richard Skelly hand-picks through the materials and finds lots of interesting things.
Oh, you could find up to money, wallets, jewellery, phones, all types of things, all types of things. It's amazing.
And there are other items that the staff here find time and time again.
One of the things we see all the time are nappies. And they're an absolute no-no, as you can imagine, because when a nappy goes through the plant, it contaminates absolutely everything. So we have smell, we have moisture, we have all those issues, and it could ruin tons and tons of paper that we have to send for fuel then, rather than recycling. So that's one that's an absolute no-no. Any food waste, please don't put it in the green bin. People tend to put a lot of clothes. We get a ton of textiles every week. In the summertime, we get a lot of grass clippings. People just throw it in the green bin. That's wrong. And in the wintertime, they tend to throw the ash from their fire in the bin. And it not only do we have to pick it out, but it also tends to contaminate good material. With your bottles and your yogurt pots and any food containers, they should be washed out and flattened. but don't put, with your cornflakes box, don't fill it with other things, because then we just have to unfill it. If you have a cornflakes box, flatten it and put it in your green bin, and then we can extract it very easily, cleanly, and it becomes a very high value product.
Great advice there. And as we increase the amount we recycle, it's good news for the environment, but it's also big business for Panda and Ireland's export economy.